Saffron shivered. The hairs on the back of his neck stood on end. Something is wrong. He spun in a circle, searching for someone lurking in the shadows. He saw nothing, but the feeling remained. He held his breath and carefully picked his way up the stairs, skipping the steps that creaked. At the top of the staircase, the foreboding feeling grew more and more sinister. No longer trusting his eyes, he brought forth his soul vision and peered down each hallway leading to his own. The only thing he could find was a few secretive spiders and a fluttering moth. Reaching his door, he found it cracked open, and a pale light streamed out. Saffron nearly raced back down the stairs to fetch Rennie. Ian always locked the door at night. He paused. No, if something is wrong, it'll be too late. Drawing the shining sword Draga had given him, he nudged the door open. Bane sat nonchalantly on top of the desk, thumbing through one of Ian's many books. Scattered on the floor was a mass of shredded parchment and texts. Both beds had been split wide open, and the stuffing spilled out. The formation instructor calmly looked up at Saffron and shut the book. "You're finally here," Bane said, with an evil, lipless smile. Saffron desperately looked around the room. There could only be one reason why Bane was here. "Where's Ian?" he demanded, pointing his sword at the intruder's face. "He's outside," Bane said calmly, pointing at the trapdoor in the ceiling. "Let's go see him, shall we?" Saffron didn't budge as the trapdoor banged open and the rope ladder fell to the floor. "You'd better hurry." Bane's eyes widened with delight as he climbed through the hole. "He might not last much longer." If Ian was held captive, there was no telling what Bane would do. Stone-faced, Saffron sheathed his sword and solemnly followed the kidnapper up the ladder. Ian lay at the edge of the rampart, hands tightly bound behind his back with a dirty rag jammed painfully inside his mouth. When he saw Saffron, he struggled frantically at his bonds. Stein savagely kicked him in the ribs. Saffron ripped out his swords. "Let him go!" he shouted as loud as he could, hoping someone below could hear his voice. Noel's ugly face snickered, and he held a knife to Ian's throat. "Shh, now, play nicely," he warned. Saffron dropped his swords. They clanged noisily on the stone, and Stein retrieved them. "What do you want?" he hissed. There was nothing he could do, not without endangering Ian. "I don't think they will kill him, but they might." Bane admired Draga's former blade for a moment, and then tossed it off the battlements. "It would be a shame to dirty such a pretty blade," he said. Far below, Saffron heard his weapon strike the ground. Bane selected the rusty sword, the one Rennie had given Saffron, and balanced it on his finger. "This is better," he grinned, and slapped the flat of the blade against Ian's leg. Saffron panicked. "No!" he shouted. Bane stopped. "No?" he asked, and his friends laughed stupidly. "Why not?" Saffron sneered. "Because I'm the one who beat you." The laughter stopped, and Bane grew dangerously cold. "That little trick saved your neck!" "You deserved it," Saffron shot back, intending to have Bane direct all his anger on himself rather than Ian. "I play the game like everyone else," said Bane. "You're a stinking coward, and you cheated!" A dog-like growl rose from the instructor's throat, and his eyes bulged. "Let's get down to business, runt! What comes next is the result of you accidentally falling off the rooftop," he sneered. "After tonight, you'll never walk again." Saffron laughed. He couldn't help himself. "Neither will you," he retorted. As long as Ian went unharmed, he didn't care what happened to him. Bane stomped forward, his face contorted with murderous rage. The rusty sword rose upwards in the night sky and stopped. His breath grew ragged as he prepared himself for the unforgivable deed.